What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with episode 18 of Light of the Azure. Our attempts to stabilize the Great Vortex and stop all of the evils of the world from getting out. And oh boy, are we in for some fights this time. Last time we did start up our latest ritual and started pushing for it, and then these guys showed up. We already destroyed one stack of chaos through the efforts of Auric and Phoenix, and that really helped us out. But we also have a bunch of ratmen coming in to do a lot of damage to us. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the skills of some of our people here. You know what, Light of Battle is actually a good thing, and that's on Agnew, who's quickly trying to come down. We're going to actually send them down the inner ring. I'm really tempted to come out with a couple of Swordmaster units so we can help fight this. Because it's going to be awful. We lost a dragon, lost a lot of Phoenix Guard, and this stack, while it only has one Hell Cannon, it has a bunch of Chaos Knights with both Lances and normal, and a bunch of Chaos Warriors, along with 3 Chaos Giants and a full unit of Spawn. It's not going to be easy to take on at all. And in fact, I think we're going to bring Erythron down, because he has Mom the Doge with him and a couple of units that might be able to help us. I know we were going to send him to get that shipwreck, but right now we kind of need to consolidate all our forces. We're going to get to that fight in just a minute here. I do kind of want to check out what's going on, because Chaplain Grimaldus is headed towards Nagorond itself, and next turn hopefully he'll get it. I mean, Grond is vulnerable, but if we can stop their ritual and take their capital, that would severely hurt the Druki. And let's see if we can actually get Avalorn to confederate with us.
King welcomes you. What do you wish to? Certainly not.
Not this time. And I doubt we could get Yvresse to do it too. Something about the same diplomatic ratio with them.
Our great king welcomes you.
Let's see if we can...
Unwise.
No. So we can't get the other elven nations involved. We have to hold on to Lothern. That's a given. But we also can't let these stacks go completely unmolested. They do have just a lot of clan rats, but they have some storm vermin and storm vermin with halberds. And their lord is mounted on a rat ogre, their other one is on a screaming bell, and they have a lot of weird weapons and all that sort of stuff. So it's not exactly going to be easy, but we will be dealing with them shortly. Well, fortune favors the bold. So the Horn of Isha, reload speed and melee attack. Be really good on Lothern Seaguard. But I think we're going to toss it on to our Illyrian Reaver archers. And then we'll get some reinforcements coming in as the battle goes on.
The Asur need me.
Let's start this off and see what happens. These giants are really, really, really worrying. And they do, of course, have the high ground. I'm wondering if we can draw them in. Our guys are pretty good on the defensive against a charge. Spearmen will be able to hold up their knights. But they pretty much have run of the field when it comes to this sort of stuff. So we're going to set our dragon up over here, along with our eagle claws. Give them as much of a height advantage as possible. Grab our spearmen, set them up in front. Phoenix Guard we're going to put here. They got really devastated in the last fight. Of course, Auric's going to be coming in from the forest. We're going to be relying on him to get as close as possible, as fast as possible. This formation does leave us a little tiny bit vulnerable to their fire, but we are hopefully going to solve that with our Illyrian archers. That is a large Chaos army. Again, it is that Hell Cannon that worries me. So we'll start and then pause, and we will send our dragon to go breathe on that Hell Cannon. Send our Illyrians to shoot at the Chaos spawn. This giant's going to get shot by our chariot. Our Eagle Claws, that would be caps lock, not space. They are just out of range, but we're going to leave them on their massive bolts, and we're going to let them shoot the giants when the giants start coming towards us. If the giants start coming towards us. Orc, we're going to get you to go down there. We're going to group the Phoenix and the Great Eagle together. Try to group up as much as we can. I don't like being spread out. Actually group those three together and have them all go after that single Chaos Giant. They are very tired from having marched so far. But that's not really our problem. Our problem is their damn Hell Cannon. Which is probably going to kill a few elves before we get to do anything really good. Alright, let's actually swap our Eagle Claws over to their multi-shot. Get them to shoot those knights. I don't really want to lose the dragon just yet. Well, I don't want to lose the dragon at all. But I do want to worry their artillery. It's the only thing that's essentially dangerous. And if they move away from their artillery at all, I'm just going to get the dragon to land on their artillery. At least until its breath cools down and we can go back into it. Now they're kind of turning our flank here. Let's send these sword masters in to deal with them. That should help us out a little bit. We need that dragon to get back in the air before he gets charged. But it has at least destroyed their artillery, so we're not too worried there.
Understood. We advance. Swordmaster at Hoa.
And we may just be able to shoot them up enough to cause a lot of problems. Not too worried about the Illyrian archers or the chariots. They'll just keep themselves out of danger as much as possible. It's a little ironic that the things that I thought were going to be the most danger to us are in fact not in combat yet, which are those Chaos Giants. We'll swap our bolt throwers back over to their single shot and see if we can devastate them. Chaos Warriors are definitely no joke.
Swordmaster of Hoa. It shall be done. Seal. For the king. What orders? Asur, withdraw. Archers.
Let's get our archers involved over in that fight. You guys can target that Chaos Giant. If we can knock those giants out, I'm pretty certain that we can rout the rest of these forces without too much trouble. Our dragon's breath is back up, so let's go hit these Chaos Warriors here. Let's bring our 2 other flyers in from the side. It's mostly their cavalry that gives me a lot of worry. I mean, they do have a pair of giants, but our guys are going to hold off on that pretty decently. Especially with the amount of arrows we're peppering into them. And our Illyrians have kind of gone off the rails. They're almost out of ammunition anyway.
Ready and eager. Roll back. Agreed.
Let's see if Aura can get involved with that fight with that giant.
There is no hope.
I'm hesitant to send my lords in, but
Ever loyal.
it's going to have to happen a little bit.
Just failed us. Restoring order. The winds are rising.
This is not going nearly as bad as I thought it would. I was fairly worried about this fight from the outset. One of our chariots kind of got routed, which does suck a little bit.
Illyrian archers. Archers. Ancestors. Without question.
But a fair amount of elven archery is going to see us through this. Then it's just dealing with the ratmen on the next turn.
For the king.
If we can break the Chaos Lord, which he's broken now, they can't rally from that.
Swordmaster of Hoenn. Your affair.
Let's actually send our dragon down into those knights too.
As you say. Archers.
I know our spearmen really haven't gotten too involved in the fight.
We will obey.
Let's see if we can knock that giant out.
By your
Hit
command.
those Chaos Knights.
Asur, attack.
It's worth sacrificing the Illyrians to deal damage to Chaos Knight units. Of course, their spawn haven't gotten involved in the fight just yet.
Loyal. Cower before the glittering host. Sinner.
Right now, it's mostly a battle of morale. And they're broken.
Without fail.
So we didn't lose too much, and this is going to wipe out this entire army stack, which is going to be incredibly good for us.
They will come down.
We'll let them flee.
Prince of Outward. For Outward. Spearmen. Without fail. Swordmaster of Hoenn. For Ulthuan.
Fortunately, Chaos Spawn cannot be broken by traditional means.
Attack.
So we're pretty much going to have to throw everything we've got left at them.
Tyrannoch chariots. Setting forth. Prince of Outward.
And wipe them out. But they're getting fairly destroyed as is.
Eternal defenders.
So that actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to. So props to Phoenix and Auric for being absolutely awesome. We will end the battle there, of course. Heroic victory. Very much so. We only lost... Well, we still lost a lot, but it completely destroyed their stack, which is the ultimate goal of this. I don't know exactly what we're going to do against the Ratmen, but we'll figure that out as we go. So the Puppets of Chaos have been destroyed, and Phoenix gained Ruin's End, which does not hurt. He gets more skill versus the forces of disorder. We're going to make him a little bit harder to hit, so he can get involved in combat a little bit more. And for Auric, we're going to give him the speed of Azuran, so he's a little bit faster. I don't know where these two stacks are going to go, so we're going to pull back a little bit and see what they do on their next turn. They can't go overtly far, but by pulling them back, it guarantees that we fight on our terms, and they should be within reinforcement range of Lothern. I'm hoping they are, anyway. That actually takes a large amount of the stress out of the next couple of turns. We do have some damaged buildings up in the Broken Lands. I'm not really sure we want to repair those just yet. Alright, let's cross our fingers and see how it goes. And I am still chomping at the bit to get the Tomb Kings, but I just haven't been able to swing it just yet. I'm probably going to do a little one-off or something like that when I pick them up, because, well, they're the Tomb Kings. They're awesome. They have Kalia. And she's cool. She's like the Queen Mummy of evilness. It's great. I've always had a soft spot for Egyptian mythology, too, so that might have a small little piece of inclination as to why I'm pushed towards the Tomb Kings a little bit. They're still not my Knights of Bretonnia, which are Arturian legend. And for anybody who has spent any time around me regularly, I love the Arturian mythos. It's just great. I love it. And the whole Knights of the Round and all of that. I just love the idea of it. And the Bretonians encapsulate that almost entirely. Which may turn into a Bretonian playthrough when we're done this campaign. I don't know. I might switch off of Total War Warhammer 2 to something else, but that's a long ways away. Why am I thinking about that now? Maybe it's to hear myself talk. I'm my own biggest fan. But it is nice to see that they're putting in all of the factions, well, as many as they can, getting full 3D models and everything. Medieval 2 had a Warhammer-themed makeover kit of sorts, but it didn't do what this did as well as the Total War Warhammer series did. So, it's kind of a mixed bag. But I would love to see the Ogre Kingdoms get involved. I would love to see the Dawiza, the Dark Dwarves, Chaos Dwarves. I'd love to see a lot more of the Regiments of Renown, too. Panther Legion and that sort of stuff get involved. There are some Regiments of Renown in the game now, at least for the Mortal Empire's part, but there's so much more that's out there. And Tomb Kings coming in was just great. It was just great. Don't think there's many left on their list, because you got your Orcs and Goblins, you got your Empire, Bretonnia, Vampire Counts, now the Tomb Kings, Lizardmen, Dark Elves, Chaos. Be nice to see some more flavor within Chaos. I mean, it's great that Svigvald, the Magnificent, finally got some love when it came to the heroes and stuff that are out there. Slaanesh, very rarely, and probably for good reason, because it's a controversial goddess thing. There's probably good reason for it. Let's just leave it at that. But it's nice to see Slaanesh get a little bit of love in one of these games. I regret saying it that way already. But Khorne always seems to get a lot of the fame, the prime time, Nurgle does get a little bit. Alright, so this is only one stack. We're going to fight this and see if we can defend. If we can annihilate the stacks on their own, we should be okay. I don't think we really have the high ground here, but the Ratmen are going to have to come at us, except for that Plague Claw catapult, and we have a solution to that. We have a dragon. At least the dragon should be relatively reinforcey. Is that a word? Oh no, it's a word now. So, Auric, I know you guys are kinda underneath a little bit of a stigma. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but you guys have been fighting hard and getting beat up a lot. So we're going to set you up here, and Phoenix is going to come in from over here. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Let's send the eagles over this way. Well, the birdies. Skaven infantry is a little unique. They don't have a lot of staying power, let's say. But if you let them just go hog wild, they can do a lot of damage. Like those Poison Wind Globuladiers. So the dragon, we want you to come over and breathe on that Plague Claw catapult. You archers, let's group you up. Start shooting there. These spearmen, let's get you set. Phoenix Guard, even though you're still fairly hurt. Group all of our chariots together, send them after the same thing. Our Illyrian horse archers can hit those clan rats. Not too sure what to do with the Swordmasters of Hoeth right now. They're a little hurt. Grouping up is probably a bad idea, but we gotta do what we gotta do. And we have yet to have our artillery pieces make it to the battle. And as I say that, the artillery pieces enter the battle. So they're going to be going after probably another large section of infantry. So let's swap them to that and get them to hit those storm vermin.
Orders received.
The only saving grace against the Skaven is that while they have a lot of units in their stacks, their individual soldiers are actually really weak. And their morale is easy enough to break. Which is what our dragon and probably our birdies are going to do. Yes, we have a bird air force. The only thing I'm entirely worried about is those Poison Wind Globuladiers.
Spearmen, we will obey. For the king.
And Phoenix, you're going after that guy right there.
Spearmen, as you say.
Because their monsters and their monstrous infantry are the big thing for Skaven.
For the Ever Queen.
Let's get our dragon and our birds, because they've already routed those ratmen. In the campaign, though, the Skaven do have one big ability that is a little bit annoying. I don't know if they have it in this, but it's called the Dwellers Below, where they summon a unit stack of, well, pretty much nastiness to come hit you.
It shall be done. For Asurian. For Asurian. For order.
And Auric, we're going to get you go after those clan rats with spears. This is going to be basically a chaotic jumble of a battle. But as you can see, a lot of their stuff is already routing.
Illyrian archers. Loyal. Attack!
It's not that their troops are good, it's just that they have a lot of them, and then their specialist infantry is devastating. probably going to lose a Great Eagle. Probably won't lose a dragon. Speaking of the dragon, let's get it in the air. And let's see if we can save that Great Eagle too. They've been routed there. You can go breathe on that unit. And our Phoenix can come over here and help out in the center by attacking those poison wing globulatiers.
Eagle Claw. Understood. As you say. Eagle Claw. Loyal.
Now, did you lose all of your artillery pieces? That would be rather unfortunate.
Eagle Claw.
I think you have lost all of your artillery pieces, which kind of sucks. Let's actually have our dragon charge back into combat with those clan rats. They might overwhelm a single dragon that's hurt like that, but not before they do what he does, what he needs to do. Right now, it's really been our monsters that have been saving the day for us.
Battle calls. Prince of Alpha. Following orders.
And their leader is broken, which means anybody that breaks from this point on is going to not be able to retaliate, essentially. But it really, really hurt our ability to fight. We have lost a lot of brave and valiant elves.
Archers. Orders understood. As you say.
Oric's doing fine. His archers might be running around a little bit, but
Orders received. Pull back.
they'll be fine.
Without fail. Archers. As you say. Move.
It's just a big chaotic mess here right now.
That's a withdraw. Lacoy. Asur, withdraw.
That should break those poison wing globadiers here pretty quick. We'll have our dragon drop onto the warp fire throwers, which will rout them fairly effectively.
For duty. Illyrian archers. Eagle Claw. It shall be done. We will obey. By Asurian.
It's a chaotic mess, but we're holding on, if only just.
As you say. Sinner.
Battle's still in our favor. This was the more heavily infantryed one of the two armies that we had to face. I'm really hoping that when we get to the other one, that it's not as bad. Like I said, they deployed a lot of troops, but look how many they lost. Half their number, and those were massive stacks.
Duty is its own reward.
He's still in raiding stance, so we won't have to fight him this turn. And they've separated again, so we might be able to work this into our favor. Hexodal is started, Dark Elf Intervention got destroyed, a Shrieking Blade, and of course we know all of that is coming up. So Auric has recently gained another level, and we're going to give him the Valor of Ages for right now.
I I serve the king.
They still have a lot of clan rats. Can we see more of what's in here? A lot of gutter runners, a lot of night runners, warp fire throwers, plague clock catapult.
I serve the king. Guardian of the Phoenix Crown.
We lost pretty much all of our specialist troops in that. Kinda sucks.
Guardian.
Still have the dragon though.
Servant of the king.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna amp Phoenix up a little bit. We're gonna give him pretty much everything. We're gonna send Auric into the Glittering Tower.
Protector of the
And then with my Swordmasters, I'm going to come out.
her servant.
Right there, so that I'm within range. So when we fight this stack, it's all good.
Lord of the Phoenix Court. Journeying on.
Then we'll have Erethrond and Mom the Doge, kind of cut him off a little bit. The idea is, fight this battle, then fight that battle. It's going to be close, and it's going to be tight.
Where to? All set.
Alright, Phoenix. We'll get one more battle in this episode.
My prowess is needed.
You've got pretty much everything in your list, and then I'll be coming in with some Swordmaster reinforcements. Try and take that hill. I pointed at my monitor instead of using my mouse. That was brilliant. We'll try and take this hill, and then send our faster units around the flank, which will actually work fairly well for us. Alright. So let's get a nice spear line going up front. And our Illyrian archers are going to go down here. Operation Air Force. The fantasy version of an Air Force. Dragon, Phoenix, and Great Eagle. Gotta love it. Actually, we have the peak of this hill. Let's force them to come at us in a big way. We'll take the crown of the hill. Set up our archers for maximum amount of range. Set our Eagle Claws up so they have a good range too, and we'll set them to their multi-fire. Use our Tyrannoc Chariots as a flanking force. Still a little hurt, but that's okay, all things considered. They're going to be harassing enemy units that we don't want to deal with. And since their Plague Claw is actually there, we're going to move the Air Force over here. Now, I'm just going to pause real quick. We're going to advance these two up to shoot at the Plague Monks. Our Illyrian archers are going after those. Dragon, part of Operation Air Force, is going right after their artillery. Don't know how much actual artillery they have. At least ranged. Warp fire thrower, that definitely hurts. But we'll let our archers engage as they will. Because I don't want to order too many people in too quickly. Set the Swordmasters on that flank. That was kind of cool. Big dragon shadow down here. And that's actually our dragon up there flying in. But they have some sorcery that's targeting our dragon right now. Ooh, that's actually hurting our dragon a fair bit. And our dragon is down. Well, that hurt a fair bit, and now their Plague Claw Catapult, of course, is free to do whatever it wants. So the rest of the Air Force, you guys are going to go right after those catapults and end them. They actually have a significantly larger amount of ranged troops than the last army had. That's the thing with Skaven, you can never tell which one of their troops actually has ranged firepower and which one doesn't. Well, you could if you read their unit cards, but I'm never that smart. I'm pretty sure if the Frostheart Phoenix dies, he will resurrect as an egg just like the other Phoenix does. Not too worried, I just wanted to stop them from shooting at us momentarily.
Battle calls.
Just so many rats. Thankfully, most of their archery is short-ranged at best. Why am I just letting those guys sit there and die?
Yes.
Our Illyrians are kind of getting trapped.
Eager for battle. Agreed. Swordmaster and poet. Orders received. Kill them. Sunfire lusts for battle.
Let our troops get into the close-range firefight. Death Runners. That's interesting. The range on the fiery convocation isn't that big, but we will send it down and see if we can catch a few rats.
Heir of Anarian.
Let's actually get our spearmen involved here. If we can whittle out enough of these rats, then we don't have to worry. And that would be their warp lightning throwers. I think this is where the intensity of the fight's going to come in.
For battle. Champion of Alaria. I shall. To battle. Draw back.
It's sad that we lost a dragon, but it's worth it if we manage to decimate this stack.
Shield of the Ever Queen. Sign up.
Our heroes are going to have to do a fair amount of work here.
Asur, withdraw. Eager for battle.
Seems that our Illyrian Reapers got hurt.
Ancestors.
But with those warp fire throwers running, that's definitely not a bad thing.
Archers.
Our archers can definitely outshoot theirs.
Setting forth. Defending order.
I'll swap our Eagle Claws over and see if we can nail those Plague Claw catapults from range. And as soon as they do that, they change. So let's get them on their hero instead.
Annihilate them. Swordmaster of poets. Death to all.
I've lost a lot of elves during these last couple of fights, but it's worth it because once the stacks are down, we don't have to deal with any more Chaos Invasion. We can rebuild.
Prince of Oak One. Ready and eager.
Gotta just find an angle to let Phoenix let his Phoenix out. That sounded wrong. Oops.
Orders understood. For the king.
And I accidentally let it out at the wrong place. That's brilliant. Way to go, Dre.
Archers, make Ultron proud! Alariel! Happy to serve. Signer!
With those gutter runners being chased around, and we just lost our last chariot over there.
Noble prince.
If you're at the edge of the battle, go deal with that Grey Seer. Well, I'm sitting down here in the bottom, slaughtering a bunch of rats.
Now you die!
Or walking through a bunch of rats, as the case may be here.
Archers, for Asurian!
I think this battle is pretty much decided, even though we've lost a lot of stuff. See what we can recover after the fight's over. Just because a unit's wiped out on the battlefield map doesn't mean it's gone for good if you win the fight. And if we can destroy their leader,
Draw back! It will be done. Orior! Pull back! Archers, without fail.
not necessarily a good place for me to be in right now. Surrounded by a bunch of really, really weak rats. A lot of rats. Ugh.
Prince of Ultron.
Let's see if we can whittle their numbers out a little bit. With our archers.
Eagle Claw.
Okay, did your artillery pieces get entirely destroyed too? No, there they are.
Understood.
Oh, our artillery is completely out of ammunition.
Ultron. To the fray.
And while I'm pleased that there's a lot of dead bodies for rats all over the place, I'm not so pleased by the amount of white that's showing up in there. Too many high elves down.
It shall be done.
Some of their units are straight up breaking now.
Archers. For Asurian. What orders? Attack! Heir of Anarian.
That should catch a good number of those storm vermin. And they still have some archers, at least some gutter runners. Seems like our heroes are pretty much carrying the day here. What I really need to do is break that Grey Seer. And if Phoenix doesn't gain a level off this, I will be amazed. He has done an amazing amount of work. And there we go. So that's that fight over with. We lost way too many elves. Most of my force, and a lot of Phoenix's force. That kind of sucked.
Glory to the king! Starting out.
And we completed the mission under Menace. The Under Menace, I should say.
Prince of Ultron.
So we had to beat these guys a couple of times. And we're going to grab an Ithomar steed for Phoenix.
Prince of Elfwan.
Shield against the darkness.
I'm going to pop into March Stance and get back to Lothern and start getting some troops. Which is what we're going to do with Auric as well. A couple of units of Swordmasters, a couple of units of Archers, and I'm going to grab a unit of Swordmasters. Oh yeah, I'm in March Stance, I was about to say. So instead,
I offer assistance.
we're going to grab... Something only requires one turn, we'll grab a couple of Great Eagles too.
Defender of the Everqueen.
We seriously wounded that stack, and they don't have their catapult anymore, which really helps. But that's probably a good place to end it for this week, guys. A lot of fighting and a lot more to come. Just an absolute ton of fighting, and I'm loving it. Before we go, I'm going to continue Agnew's march down towards us. Move your elven butt. At the very least, we need to split your troops up when you get down here to replenish a bunch of army stacks. But anyway, guys, if you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, possibly see your name in one of these Let's Plays, or just to be part of our community, just hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes up. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.